In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NBA games happening on January 15, 2025, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NBA games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. New York Knicks versus Philadelphia 76ers. The New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers are set to reignite their long-standing rivalry on Wednesday night as the Knicks make their way to Philadelphia. This matchup comes at an interesting juncture for both teams. The Knicks currently hold the 3rd spot in the Eastern Conference standings, showcasing a strong start to the season. However, they are looking to bounce back after a disappointing home loss to the Detroit Pistons in their most recent outing. Meanwhile, the 76ers are facing a challenging season riddled with injuries, most notably to their former MVP, Joel Embiid. Philadelphia finds itself significantly below .500, fighting to remain in playoff contention despite their difficulties. For Wednesday's game, the Knicks could potentially be without 2 key players, as Jericho Sims and Karl Anthony Towns are both listed as questionable to play. On the other side, the 76ers continue to deal with a slew of absences, including Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Caleb Martin. These injuries place an added strain on Philadelphia's already depleted roster. The Knicks appear to have a distinct advantage heading into this matchup for several reasons. With the Sixers potentially missing both of their primary centers, Joel Embiid and Andre Drummond, their interior defense will be significantly weakened. This creates an opportunity for Karl Anthony Towns to dominate on the offensive end, whether working in the post or stretching the defense with his ability to shoot from beyond the arc. Additionally, the Knicks' wing players, including Og Anunoby and Josh Hart, could thrive given the absence of a strong rim protector for Philadelphia. While George may provide some resistance against Mikal Bridges and Maxey could challenge Jalen Brunson, the Knicks still have the upper hand, especially in areas where the Sixers' defense is vulnerable. Historically, the Knicks have fared well in this rivalry, winning 7 of the last 10 meetings between these two teams. Their ability to score efficiently in the paint, coupled with strong defensive rebounding, should enable them to generate high-percentage scoring opportunities while also limiting Philadelphia's chances. Although the 76ers rank in the top 5 in steals, the Knicks' careful handling of the basketball this season minimizes the likelihood of turnovers derailing their offensive rhythm. Despite both teams dealing with injuries, the Knicks are in a stronger position. Jalen Brunson remains available for New York, while Philadelphia continues to miss many of their key contributors. The Sixers, already one of the most injury-riddled teams in the league, face the additional disadvantage of playing on the second night of a back-to-back. Back-to-backs are notoriously difficult for short-handed teams, as players already logging extended minutes must now compete again without sufficient rest. While the Knicks have their own injury concerns, their situation is far less dire, and they have had the benefit of a full day of rest. The 76ers' struggles against the spread are reflected in their 14-24 against the spread record this season, a mark surpassed in futility only by the Phoenix Suns. The 76ers have yet to secure a victory on the second night of a back-to-back this season, and there is little reason to believe this trend will change. So the New York Knicks to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. In their first meeting this season, these two teams played a low-scoring game that went under the projected total. With several key players sidelined, the 76ers have struggled to find consistency on offense. Heading into their Tuesday night matchup against the Thunder, Philadelphia had scored fewer than 100 points in 2 of their last 3 games. Without Joel Embiid, the team lacks the floor spacing and offensive firepower needed to challenge strong defensive units. Typically, the Knicks are at a disadvantage when it comes to rebounding, but in this matchup, they hold a clear edge. Their dominance on the glass becomes even more pronounced if Drummond and Embiid are unavailable for Philadelphia. Both teams have demonstrated discipline in defending without committing excessive fouls, which could lead to a slower-paced game. However, they also rank as average when it comes to generating second-chance points. The Knicks' careful ball handling and deliberate approach to slowing the tempo will likely force the 76ers into contested jump shots, where Philadelphia has struggled. The Sixers currently rank 3rd in limiting opponent field goal attempts per per game but sit in the bottom 10 in nearly all major shooting metrics. The Knicks are well positioned to control the tempo of the game, focusing on methodical, possession-based basketball. This style of play favors a lower scoring outcome, especially given Philadelphia's offensive limitations. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Boston Celtics versus Toronto Raptors. An intense Atlantic Division NBA matchup is set to take place on Wednesday as the Boston Celtics, boasting an impressive record of 28-11, head north to face the struggling Toronto Raptors, who sit at 9-31. These two teams have already clashed twice this season in Boston, with the Celtics emerging victorious on both occasions. The first game was a nail-biter, decided by a narrow 3-point margin, while the second was a complete blowout with the Celtics winning by a staggering 54 points. In their most recent outing, the Celtics eked out a razor-thin 120-119 victory over the New Orleans Pelicans at home, falling short of covering the spread as 14.5-point favorites. Meanwhile, the Raptors are coming off their own dramatic victory, defeating the Golden State Warriors 104-101 on their home court despite entering the game as 4.5-point underdogs. The Celtics are anticipated to have their full roster available for this matchup, providing them with a significant boost. On the other hand, the Raptors continue to deal with the absence of Immanuel Quickley, who remains sidelined due to a groin injury. This game features a particularly large spread for an NBA contest, especially with Boston as the visiting team. The Raptors have demonstrated resilience at home this season, holding an 8-13 record at Scotiabank Arena compared to a dismal 1-18 record on the road. Additionally, Toronto has managed to keep 5 of their last 7 games within a 12.5-point margin, including limiting the Cleveland Cavaliers to just a 6-point victory. The Celtics, however, have been experiencing a minor slump, winning only 7 of their last 13 games leading up to this matchup. Both Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, the team's star players, have been battling noticeable shooting struggles during this period. Boston's inflated betting lines have made them a risky proposition in recent weeks. While the Celtics have the potential to dominate and deliver a commanding win over the Raptors, they have a poor track record in similar scenarios. Specifically, they are just 6-9 against the spread in their last 15 games as double-digit favorites. Moreover, since December, the Celtics have suffered 3 outright losses as double-digit favorites, including a surprising defeat to the Sacramento Kings just last week. Conversely, the Toronto Raptors appear to be healthier than they have been all season and are riding the momentum of an upset victory over the Warriors. This iteration of the Raptors is notably different from the injury-depleted squad Boston trounced on New Year's Eve. This game has the potential to be a classic trap scenario for the Celtics. Although Boston is fully healthy and theoretically should have little trouble handling a struggling Raptors team, Toronto's recent win over Golden State may give them a spark of confidence. Despite their poor form overall, the Raptors could prove to be a challenging opponent in this game, so the Toronto Raptors to cover the spread as underdogs is our full game side pick. Defensively, the Raptors have been one of the league's weakest teams this season, allowing an average of 119 points per game, which ranks near the bottom of the NBA. While Boston's defense has generally been strong, it has shown signs of vulnerability in recent games, conceding 3 points more per game over their last 4 outings compared to their season average. Offensively, Toronto has been involved in several high-scoring affairs recently, with 4 of their last 7 games surpassing a total score of 230 points. Similarly, the Celtics' most recent game also exceeded this mark. Despite the shooting struggles of Tatum and Brown, this matchup against Toronto's porous defense presents a prime opportunity for both players to break out of their respective slumps. Over the projected total is our full game total pick. Memphis Grizzlies versus San Antonio Spurs. The Southwest Division will showcase an intense matchup on Wednesday night as the Memphis Grizzlies head to the Lone Star State to face the San Antonio Spurs. Memphis enters this game following a hard-fought 120-118 road loss to the Houston Rockets on Monday night. Despite the narrow defeat, the Grizzlies managed to cover the betting line as a 2.5-point underdog. Meanwhile, the Spurs are coming off an impressive 126-102 victory against the Los Angeles Lakers on the road in their Monday night game, where they defied expectations as a 4-point underdog. Historically, the Spurs have held a significant edge in this regular season rivalry, boasting a 75-39 advantage in the all-time series. The most recent clash between these teams occurred on April 9, 2024, when San Antonio secured a commanding 102-87 road victory, snapping Memphis' remarkable 13-game winning streak in the series. Both teams are dealing with injury setbacks. The Grizzlies remain shorthanded, with key players Marcus Smart and G.G. Jackson unavailable for this contest. On the other hand, the Spurs are also missing an important contributor, Jeremy Sochan. Despite the challenges posed by injuries, the Grizzlies continue to demonstrate their status as the superior team in this matchup. Metrics highlight a significant disparity between the two squads, with Memphis holding the fourth-best net rating in the NBA at 6.9, while San Antonio lags behind in 17th place with a -0.3 net rating. Recent offensive performances further underscore this gap. The Grizzlies have averaged an impressive 120 points over their last 4 games, compared to the Spurs' 114 points across their previous 3 contests. Although the Spurs enter this game with some momentum after their decisive win over the Lakers, the Grizzlies are gradually regaining their full strength and are poised to embark on a prolonged winning streak. So the Memphis Grizzlies to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Memphis has been a consistent performer when it comes to hitting the over this season, as evidenced by their 24-14-2 record in such games. Their road contests have been particularly high scoring, with the Grizzlies averaging a combined 242 points per game. This is partly attributable to their defensive lapses, which allow opponents to convert 46.5% of their field goal attempts, sink 14.7 three-pointers, and shoot 36.9% from beyond the arc. Moreover, Memphis operates at the fastest tempo in the league, averaging 105.1 possessions per game, which contributes to the elevated scoring in their matchups. On the other side, the Spurs score an average of 115 points per game when playing at home. While their pace is more moderate, ranking 17th in the NBA at 98.7 possessions per game, they can still capitalize on defensive vulnerabilities. Both teams have faced challenges on the defensive end in recent games. Memphis has struggled to contain opposing offenses, giving up an average of 121 points in their last 3 outings. Similarly, San Antonio's defense has allowed 115 points per game over their previous 4 contests. However, both teams excel at creating second-chance opportunities through offensive rebounding. The Grizzlies are particularly dominant in this aspect, ranking second in the NBA with a 34.2% offensive rebounding percentage. The Spurs, while not as prolific, hold their own in 17th place with a 28.7% offensive rebounding percentage. Considering Memphis' difficulties in slowing down teams during road games, betting on the over for the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.